Let me read it to you since you have a hard time reading. Is that a staff member? Does that say anywhere in there that only a member can vote? I have not yielded my time, but I read your words. Let's go through the facts. The Constitution requires in-person assembly. If you hang your hat on the House can make their own rules, then why don't you make a rule that Republicans can't vote? Why don't you make a rule that women can't vote? You can make the rules, but you can't make unconstitutional rules. The Constitution deals with this and tells us we should assemble. Yes, that's why August 14th, after this building burned in 1812, the War of 1812 and 1814, they still convened. It wasn't here, but it was in a hotel. But you think, oh, modern history allows us to do this. Well, you know what your modern history allows people to do? If the member can't vote on the proxy, you allow the staff to do it. That's literally what your rule says. If you don't have it, I'll put it in record right here. It states, I'll underline it and I'll provide it to you. If you want to read it out loud, you're more than welcome. If a member cannot provide electronically, a staff is allowed to put the vote across. That's what you wrote, that's what you passed. Even one proxy vote dilutes the voting power of every member. We have an unbelievable country that people lend their power and voice to members of Congress, be you a congresswoman or congressman, and hold you accountable every 2 years. You're going to have people on this floor voting for more than 5 members from 5 different states. In California alone, your largest delegation, more than half of the Democrats stayed home. I'll guarantee you they all cashed their check this month. That means 19 million people in California will not have their voice heard. Maybe somebody from Connecticut will vote for him. More than 70 members will vote by proxy. That's 49 million Americans who did not count because you gave it to somebody else. But you should be proud of that. Proxy votes have never been allowed to count towards quorum. But what are you going to do on this rule? There will be more bodies voting no than voting yes, but you're going to win because you got a vote in the pocket. The Democrat plan permits a staffer to vote by proxy on behalf of a member who is unavailable. That is totally true. It's in the rules right here, and I'll provide it to you. A member, let me read it to you since you have a hard time reading. If a member is unavailable to email or send a text message, a staff member may transmit the instructions at the direction of the member. Is that a staff member? Does that say anywhere in there that only a member can vote? I have not yielded my time, but I read your words. A member can vote by proxy while attending a political fundraiser under this plan. A member could be at a fundraiser watching on television and said, well, let me pause for one moment. I didn't want to go back to D.C. even though you asked me to, but I need to put my vote in. It's okay. I'll give somebody from another state to do it. The McGovern regulations state that members can only vote using proxy voting if they are physically unable to make it to the Capitol. I don't know what happened in the last 2 weeks when only 12 could not make it, but now more than 70. I'm concerned for them. Must be something very serious. All members had nearly 2 weeks' notice ahead for this vote. 2 weeks you had to plan. For 231 years, members found a way to get to D.C. If this rule or bill passes, it'll only be because of proxy votes will make up the difference. So if my friend over there thinks someone is going to vote differently, yeah, they are. Even on the Senate side, they've told you whatever you pass in here under these rules are not constitutional. If you can make this type of rule, you can make anything. People with glasses can't vote. Unheard of. Yes, we raised a lawsuit. Yes, we believe in a previous question that people should vote no on this. It's a violation of the Constitution. It's a dereliction of a duty of elected officials. It will silence the voice of people, the same constituents that you took the oath to represent. I think of all the things this country had challenges with. Never did this body not find it was essential to meet. Never did they question to change the rule to empower one over another. But they have done just that. They have done just that. If you are a member of Congress, if you are home sitting there because you cannot make it, and you think you're going to send your message to your staff or to send it in, you might want to change, because maybe McGovern will change the rules now. When you were sworn in, you upheld your hand to uphold the Constitution. This is your moment. This is your time. Read Article 1, Section 4, Section 5, and Section 6. We even compel people to go gather you to bring you to these chambers. What's interesting to me is that the other side is willing to endanger our Constitution just to empower more power to the majority itself. It'll be interesting to see those who go back to their constituents and say, I will represent you because I can just phone it in. I deserve to be reelected because I passed this off to another member to vote for you. It's interesting to find that maybe when you raised your hand, maybe when you thought the Constitution changed, it hasn't. So yes, just as the majority leader said, he wants you to look into your heart to how you're going to vote. Do that. I hope we all come back to this floor and we all look up. I'm not sure how the vote will go. Will you have a little P by the name that says a proxy? Will we be able to tell by a proxy that somebody from another state voted for you so the rest of the country can see? How will you tell the country today that's opening up more, that's sending astronauts to the space, that you want to close Congress further and you want to deny their voice one last time? This is not about opening a campus. This is about restoring the voice to the American public that we have done for 231 years. And for you to ever question who wants to meet, let the public just see the scoreboard at the end of the day. I think it's easy to answer that question, not by voice, simply by your feet, who's willing to show and who's willing to work for them. I yield back.